Hello, welcome back. So today's like Ask Me Anything. So this is me basically going through the plan, what's been going on. Just move this because I can't hear myself properly. What's been going on with the training for the Sub-20 challenge, how I've got on, asking any questions that come along the way, which I'm on the wrong screen for, but I'm on there now. So I'll hang on a minute in case any questions come through. Not expecting any questions to come through. Well, not yet anyway. Maybe somebody's out there interested in what's going on, whether this 40, well, I say 40, I'm not actually 40, I'm 40 a week Wednesday, I'm 40. So I have been lying to you all. So can this 40-year-old mum of four get to a sub-20, which 5K, which is kind of a bit of a big challenge considering I haven't got sub-28 yet. It's 5 o'clock, so let's crack on. So I'll quickly talk about the challenge. So why sub-20? Well, to be honest, when I've been looking at the triathlon results, quite a few, most of the women that win the age group category are doing their 5K runs sprint between 20 and 22 minutes, somewhere around there. And I thought, I really need to concentrate on getting my run time down to a sub 25, ideally to the 23, 24 mark. And then it's like, well, yeah, but once I've got there, I'm going to want to go further. I'm going to want to go faster. So it was one of those, well, how fast is fast? And, sub 20 is pretty darn fast. So in reality, it's like, well, I'm targeting a sub 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, sub 20. So why not let's just aim for the sub 20 and see, hopefully I will get there. If not, I'll near as damn it get there. So, I'm not saying like I'm giving up before I've even started. That is not the plan. But it's one of those, if you aim for the stars, you'll at least hit the moon. Well, I'm happy with the moon, but we're going to go for the stars. So let's hang in there. I do have a date set. I set it by ChatGPT. I did upload the video last night, but I've got a funny feeling I left it unlisted. So I will have a look after I finish here and set that so it's live. But the date, so I asked ChatGPT, because, I'm a fully grown adult. I can't think for myself anymore. What date, how long, and, how long's a piece of string? It's the most ridiculous question I've had. But I was asked, sorry, I've just shamed whoever asked me. I was asked, when do I expect to do it in? And I said 2 weeks, just for a joke. And the criticism is it's not a smart goal without a timescale. Now, the trouble with setting a timescale and saying I want to do it by whatever date, there is that added pressure to get it done by that date. And with added pressure and deadlines, that means, the temptation to not adjust the plan should I get a niggle or an injury or a setback, to not adjust the plan and, but I've got this date in mind and, powering on through is probably just going to make things worse. So actually easing the pressure by not having a date, I think is a positive. The other thing is it's without a date, there is that you're just going to kind of float and not progress. So there's that little bit of a double-edged sword in this. Do you have a date or don't have a date? Anyway, I asked ChatGPT for a date, basically breaking down. ChatGPT knows me very well, Coach Miles in my account. 3rd of May, 2026. So that is the date that ChatGPT reckons I'll be able to get a sub-20 5K by, which was quite a shock. I was expecting it to say 2 years or so, but hey ho. So there you go, 3rd of May, that's the date set. That is when I plan to get it done, if not before. But if I don't, I will not cry. I will just carry on until I get there or, whatever happens in the meantime. So training, shall we go on to training? Let's get this screen up. Now, God, how do I do this again? Is it this one, show on stage? No, it's not done. That's just a demo screen. I normally have them down here. You know what? I have absolutely no idea. Normally the screens are down here. Can I? Oh, add to stage. They literally normally just show up here and it's not coming up. So why not? Oh, well, right. Let's come on. Technical difficulties, hey? Can we click that? I have done this. How many have I done now? I've done about 3 of these and it's not been a problem. So, oh, well, I've got the screen up. Normally there's a picture of me. Wait. I can see the pictures now. Let's, there we go. I'm in the bottom corner. I have no idea what was going on there, but we are now sorted. So this is my Training Peaks account. Now, this is actually the coaching account. So if you're looking at it thinking it looks a little bit different, this is basically just how us coaches see it. So we go on our athlete, which is me. So this was actually last week's. So ignore the brick session because I did that, and that's when I sort of decided we'd do this challenge. So this was the tester run. Could I do the 3 intervals, which I did. Analyze, should say, yeah, 1 interval, 2 interval. I had a longer break then, and then 3rd interval. But I was having camera problems, so it was probably. I don't actually know why I had the longer break now. It's been a week. I've slept. So last weekend I did a long bike ride. So 2 hours on the bike, 3 threshold pushes, and then the long 1 hour 20 active bit, which is basically just holding a 75% FTP throughout. So it's I have got a 75-mile bike ride booked in next month. So that's part of that. I've got to build up a little bit towards that. It is just a fun charity ride, so there's no real pressure there. And then I did the castle run. So this was Castle Dinnesbran, if anyone's familiar with Llangollen. So we have like a castle on a hill. So I ran up that hill. All the footage on YouTube is of me running. I walked most of it. And then sort of you go along the panorama. So I went along the panorama and then down Dinbrin and through the woods. It was a lovely run. Lots of breaks to set up cameras. It was great fun. Coming down onto this actual week of training. So I went for a swim on Monday because I need to get my swim sorted. My swim's not that bad. I'm just slow. So I've been advised to improve my cadence on my arms. Everything's going to be cadence. I move strong and slow for everything. I don't move fast. So this was the key sort of session this week. So this is the key session pretty much every week. And it's currently 8 lots of 1 minute surges. So this is basically running at the 15 kilometers per hour pace that I need to run at for the sub-20. So I ran 8 lots of 1 minutes. It was all right. I did do a short video. I have got more footage. I need to edit it and upload it. But yeah, it was okay. I don't have any heart rate data because if we scroll down here and put the heart rate on, show. If you can see when we got to running, my heart rate's kind of nice and low. And then it skyrockets to 160 and it was not at 160. So I took the heart rate monitor off and completed without, which is a shame because I didn't have the heart rate data. But I did have the cadence because I was a bit bothered last week in my test. I counted my steps and on the video footage because I didn't have the run pod on. And I wasn't very happy. I thought I was running too, my footsteps were too low and I was overstriding slightly. So I wanted to improve that. Actually, looking out here, my cadence was in the 180s for each sort of sprint. So I was quite happy with that. So yeah, so that session was absolutely fine, to be fair. I was, tired after. Wednesday, I did a cadence-focused bike and run. So this is like a brick session. This is what we tend to do in triathlon. We will go on the bike and then run straight after. So I did a cadence-focused session, which is basically, it's lots of different powers. There's a ramp up and it's about pedaling fast. So it's about basically getting your legs to go quicker. So cadence session on the bike. And then I went on the run. So it was a 20-minute run. I did an extra minute. And what I did with that was I set the metronome up. So I set the metronome up with Spotify. So I had some music and in my head. And I aimed to put my feet down with each as it went along. And that was actually okay. It does the app that I've got, it's called Metro Timer on the iPhone. It's free. The app does stop beeping along after 10 minutes, but that wasn't so bad because it just stopped beeping. I turned around. I was going to put it back on. I thought, you know what? I've got that tune nailed in my head. I can hear it without hearing it. So, and that was all right. So that was set to 180 beats, I think. I don't think I set it at 190. So I'm going to set it at 190 next week and see how that feels. So yesterday, this was a fun session. So this was hills. So there's lots of hills around me, but they're mostly all really stupidly steep. So I did a quick walk to the nearest steep hill called the Gwernant. And I did 3 minutes up, 3 minutes walk or jog down. And I did 5 of those. And the sun came out and it was pretty warm. It was all right. I'm not going to lie. The first 2 were, this is good. The third one, not so much. And the 4th and 5th one, I was questioning the decision to do the session. After the 5th one, I then just literally did the same route that I did for the brick run. I ran 10 minutes out, 10 minutes back, and then I was back home. That is actually a really nice session if you struggle to keep your easy runs easy. Add a little bit of a tough bit at the beginning, maybe hill reps or a bit of threshold work at the beginning. It doesn't have to be 5 lots of 3 minutes, but, like having 5 lots of 1 minute or, 2 or 3 lots of 3 minutes would be ample. And then having the rest of the session easy because you kind of got that little bit of effort at the beginning. It's not like you're running tired. But I did find it a lot easier to do the easy bit without my heart rate creeping up. Oddly enough, after the cadence beeper, oh no, it wasn't the cadence one. It was on the other one when I was doing the cadence one. Oddly enough, I did the 10 minutes out and then the 10 minutes back without the beeping. And my heart rate did actually start creeping up at that point. And I thought, is that fatigue or is that because I've altered my cadence because I've not got my little beeper in my head? So that is sessions that have been done. Let me just see. No questions as of yet. I'm all alone in the world. Oh no, I've got 3 people watching. Hello. Thought I was all lonely. So that has been the training this week. It has been fine. Any aches, pains, niggles? Nope, nothing. I did the stretch of the week, filmed the stretch of the week this week, which is the Bretzel. So if you want to go on my Facebook Shorts or my Facebook page or YouTube Shorts, it's also on Instagram and TikTok. So it's called the Bretzel. I found it online. I was trying to help a client and I wanted a sort of deeper quad stretch with a bit of thoracic work. So, to target the fascia in between everything. And it came up with the Bretzel stretch. Thank you, Google. And I thought, I'll give it a try. Oh my God, it is a really good stretch. So I filmed it and I couldn't get my knees on the ground. Well, I could get the bent knee, the one that you stretch in the quad. I could get that down on the ground the other day when I found it and couldn't. And now I'm so tight. I can get the other knee on the ground, but not the bent knee. So anyway, so that has been added. That is probably my stretch of the year. I normally find like a new stretch that I come across that I absolutely love. And that one is a great one. It just targets so many different aspects of the body, which I like because, I don't want to do 10 different stretches. I'd rather do 3 stretches that target lots of different things and a little bit time precious. I think it unlocks the body better when you do stretches or movements that, kind of target different chains around the body. Okay, so this weekend I have a long run tomorrow. Now this is going to be a flat one, 90 minutes. It might be a little bit over the route that I've planned. I'm meeting a friend at 7:30 in the morning. I know that's not stupidly early, but it's early for me on a Saturday. 7:30 in the morning, we're going out. And we're going to do a loop around the valley and then up to Berwyn Station, across under the bridge where there's it's really nice there. Well, it's sad in a way. There's a lot of under the bridge. There's a lot of bricks and they've got inscriptions written into them, and they're all from the young lads when they were going off to World War One. So there's a lot of like messages, and it's sad because a lot of the names on there are also on the war memorial here, which is quite sad because that's where they all got picked up, I believe, to be taken off to the war. But it's not been preserved, so it's a shame. I don't know how long you'll be able to read them for, to be honest. But yeah, so we're going to go under there and then along the canal back to the wharf, and then we're done. So 90 minutes, possibly a bit longer. Short bet, so won't be too cross with me, I hope. And then on Sunday, I've got the long ride again. So that's 2 hours, 2.5 hours on Sunday. So I'll probably do that on the turbo, the exercise bike in the kitchen. Well, it's kitchen dining room. Just so I can, I can catch up on a bit of like YouTube and TV as well. And, I could go out on the bike. It's saying it's raining. I don't like rain. So we'll see. I like being on my turbo. I can have my music on and my fan on. And if I need the loo, I just get off. It's great. So that is the weekend plan. So I'm just making sure. I'm a bit bothered that you're not all seeing my screen when I go back. Yes, you are. Okay. So next week, what is the plan? Well, rest day on a Monday. I've got 2 rest days planned, Monday and Friday. I will be swimming on Monday. Monday and Tuesday, maybe. Anyway, you don't care about swimming. Swimming is a triathlon thing, not a running thing. Swimming's quite good for helping your cardiovascular system. It helps you to get better at fat burning as well. But I need to do it for my triathlon training. It also works your core, so it's actually quite a nice one for that. But it doesn't translate too much into running. The bike is probably a better one. So I've got a 3-hour bike ride next week, so it's ramping up again. You wouldn't have to do this if you're doing a 5K and you want to target a 5K. The bike going up to like 3, 4, 5 hours on the bike, you don't need to. That is just mainly because I got this 75-mile bike ride, why that's progressing. Hills the next week. So I'm alternating hills. So I did hills last weekend, a flat route this weekend or tomorrow, and then hills again the weekend after. I'm increasing. Now I was debating changing this. So I'm increasing the speed session. This is kind of like the key session, this Tuesday one. So we have, so I was going to suggest I do that, and I didn't realize I'd done them both. So 8 times 1 minute I did with 2 minutes rest this week. I've increased it to 10 times 1 minute with only 90 seconds rest. Now, I'm not a fan of that idea, and I don't know why I've done that, because I'm changing 2 things, and I'm not a fan of changing 2 things. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to change that one back to 8. So I'm going to do 8 1 minutes again, but I'm reducing recovery down from 2 minutes to 90 seconds. And then the following week, I'll increase it up to the 10. So let's save that. I've got the same cadence session and brick run after, because that was absolutely fine. The Thursday, I have a threshold. So this one's going to be 6 lots of 3 minutes. It's done by heart rate. That's what the little heart symbol's for. So 6 lots of 3 minutes with 2 minutes jog recovery. I've got a target heart rate of 152 to 159, which will, if we look, get me into zone 3. I'd have said that was top of zone 3, but I'm not going to argue with Training Peaks. Rest day on Friday. I might get a swim in then, maybe. I normally try and add a swim in on rest days just because. And then the hills. Not planned a hill route yet. I don't know. Don't know where I'll go. There's a few. I've got kind of like the Gwernant. So I could go up the Gwernant along the top road. I love running along the top road and down, or I could go up 3 trees. I don't know. I've got a week yet to think about that anyway. Now the following week, I am on holiday. I'm going to Nice because that's my birthday. I'm going to be 40, so I'm going to Nice, and it's going to be great. So we go on the Tuesday, we come back on the Friday. So I'm planning on running whilst I'm away. However, I don't like the pressure of running whilst I'm away. I have to find that I want to run whilst I'm away, and then when I actually get away, I don't want to run. So what I'm going to do is I set myself hill repeats. I actually kind of want to run along the Promenade d'Anglais. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that. I'm going to do the hills. Well, I'm supposed to do hills on that weekend, so I'm going to put the hills in here. So I'm not going to go over these 2 weeks of training yet because they're a little while off and I might change my mind. But I do have, so this is, I'm going to introduce you, O1 JC Library, 289 workouts in there. This is, so as part of like my breakthrough week plan it teaches you to use ChatGPT basically to help coach yourself. But as part of that, you get access to all of these sessions. But if we do, oh my gosh, you know what? It's the word has just Mona fart, like that's it. Couldn't remember what it was called. I've had this twice today where words, I needed to remember bird dogs and I could see bird dogs, but I had the word horse in my head and I just could not see any other name other than horse. Anyway, I worked it out. I had to Google and you just feel stupid because it's like, I know what this is, but I can't think at all. So I got the Mona fart leg. I like this session. It's a nice short session and it'll be nice to do along the promenade. So got reverse Mona, RPE. Now I normally do this one by RPE for me because when it's by heart rate, the intervals are only short. So once it's by heart rate, trying to get your heart rate up to the required zone doesn't tend to happen. And also pace, it just ends up beeping at me all the time. And it annoys me. So I just basically run hard. So we're going to do the RPE and we'll throw that. I might not want to run on my birthday. I can always move it. So I'll run on the Wednesday or the Thursday. So next week, no, not next week. Yeah, gone through next week. Week after, I'm doing the speed stuff before I go. So we've got 8 lots of 90s. Okay, so instead of moving it up to 10, we can keep it at that. So 8 lots of 90s. You still got 90-second rest. That'll be an interesting one to see how that is. I've got my RPE one. It's not really a threshold thing, but it'll be nice and fun. And I'm trying to treat that week as a bit of a recovery one, because I'm not here. Long bike when I get back, and then I've got the long run at the weekend. And then, yeah, so it kind of carries on. I've got mountain biking that day. So I think that's the plan, is I'm going to go do the mountain biking and then I'm doing 2 hours after. So that is basically the plan. So let's put me back on. I don't think I need to solo layout. There we go. That was easier than last time. So that's kind of pretty much it. Any questions? I'm trying to think what the questions are that I've been sort of asked a bit more face to face. Just there's been a bit of people expecting me to just literally go to parkrun and try and blast it every week to try and get this 5K, which, you know, that to me is not the smartest way to train. You know, it works. Plenty of people that do that. They just smash 5K and smash 5K and smash 5K and typically get there in the end. But, you know, I am female and I am 40 and I am at 28 minutes, not even close to 20. So I'm focusing on that speed session, a threshold kind of session where it's more about doing like the longer top pace, but, you know, sort of longer sort of styled intervals. That's always been my sort of area where I've struggled, is I can go fast and I can go long. It's the going hard for a prolonged period of time that I normally fade and struggle. And sometimes I think part of it is I just can't be bothered. So this will be a pretty big challenge for me. And yeah, the hills that are all in there, that's mainly for, well, build leg strength. If I can make my legs stronger, they'll be more efficient. And I'm also doing the rock triathlon next year, which goes up and down Snowdon. So that's going to be basically 1.5 hours of constant up. And it's going to be pretty big gradients to get to the top of Mount Snowdon, over 3, and then back down. Now, the 5K route, people said, you know, like about parkrun. I didn't say I was going to do a parkrun, and I haven't decided whether I will do it at parkrun. I suppose I should do. I mean, I could pay for a 5K somewhere. I know there's a lot of flat parkruns. Old railway trail in Llangollen, our parkrun. It's quite a fast course. There's a steep hill in the middle, or about a third of the way in. So it is actually quite a fast course. But should I do that one? I don't know. It'd be nice to do it around Outlaw, but I don't know how I'd wrangle doing a 5K around like the Home Pierpont. It is flat. and I'll be there for the sprint weekend, but I won't be doing, I'll be guide running for the sprint. So that, it's not really something I can chat. I could go and do it unofficially. I don't know. I could do it on the treadmill. And I did actually think I could actually just do it downhill. My first sub-30 was from Vivod all the way down to Llangollen, and it was just downhill. So I could always do that. Okay. So I have had a question. Don, what's the first thing you would change in a plan when the niggles start to plague the run? And you're currently running 4 runs per week. Normally, my general rule of thumb is just halve whatever you're doing. So if something's sort of creeping in, halve it. So it's and see what happens. So if you're running 4 runs a week, I'd actually keep the 4 runs a week or reduce it maybe to 3 temporarily, just so you've got a little bit more recovery. I do a I think I can pop it in here. I do a 5-day stretch plan. Let me see if I can find it. I don't think that's the right link because I have updated it. Oh, I'll pop it in there. So I've put it on Udemy actually for free. Give me a moment. I think this will work. So I'll pop this in. So it's free on Udemy at the moment. It's not going to be free forever. So if you're watching this on a replay, and I do have it in my other system. So hopefully that should work, that link. And that's, so I do like a 5-day plan where I think it's 10 minutes of stretching. I have been planning on doing that myself, and I just haven't started yet. I know I'm the world's worst. I try to keep like volume or frequency up. So 4 runs, you might want to reduce down to 3 runs, but you could keep it at 4. But, if you're running for an hour for each one, reduce it down to half an hour. Or if you notice that the niggles are coming in whilst running. So, if you're running and they come in at 2 kilometers and you start feeling your knee hurts at 2 kilometers, just run to 2 kilometers. Just plan to run for 2 kilometers each of your runs for a couple of weeks. And that will generally allow it to recover. The trouble is you don't want to rest. Not literally, you don't want to rest, but generally depends on the injury. Some injuries do need rest, normally like fractures. It depends what it is, but niggles, the trouble with resting is you then start getting atrophy. So the muscles start to get weak. It's just, you're working them hard. You don't want to rest completely. It's not good for you here, and it's not good for the joint. You want to keep the blood flow going, so you want to keep it working. So it's a case of, but you don't want to hammer it either. And you don't, basically, if it hurts, don't do it. That's my general rule. If it starts hurting at a certain point, then just aim to run to that point and then call it a day, because then you're going to be getting the blood flow around, you're going to be getting the strength building and staying there, but you're also allowing it to recover, because if something's niggly, then it's agitated. So you want to allow it that recovery and rest, but you also do want to keep it moving. So I'd sort of stick with running, but try halve it. See how you go. Give it a week of doing half, and see how that is. If it feels better or the same, stick with it for another week. Wait till it starts feeling better and then increase it a bit and see how that is. Don't just rein it back and then go full pelt again. It's like, it's been fine this week, and then rein it back and then increase it up a little bit. It could be another 25%, so you're doing 75% of where you were at. And then seeing how that goes. So keep me updated on how you get on with the niggles, Don. I want to keep I want to know how you get on. But just give it a go. Let me know how it gets on. I don't know if I've got any more questions. I'll scroll through. And if anyone has a look at my channel, check out the Bretzel stretch. It is a real nice stretch. That's my stretch of the year, I think. So long run tomorrow. I better set my alarm nice and early. 7:30. It's not that bad. And my husband's going down to park run. Shout out to my husband if he's watching. He's not commented, so I don't know. He's probably cooking my tea. He's a little star. I bless him. Yeah, so I'm all done. Unless there's any more questions, I'll give you like 2 more minutes. Yeah, I don't know. It was a bit of a long week last week with. I felt, oddly enough, I felt like I got more support from people online than I did in real life, face to face. So with the challenge, but I'm quite pleased, really. I don't have any sort of issues, niggles going on. Did the pace absolutely fine on the speed session. The hills, I was questioning life choices, but they were fine. You know, I'm not blitzing it up the hills. I haven't done a video of that yet, actually. I've done footage, but I've not edited it. So yeah, so I will round up here. Love you all and leave you all, and then I will. I've got a bit of editing to do, and I need to check that video. The time on 3rd of May. So that's actually my husband and mine. It's our 21st anniversary. So quite ironic, really. So hopefully it's a special date. It'll be quite nice if I am ready for it then. But I'm trying not to underestimate the challenge as well, because I know that there are a lot of people that probably get a bit upset with me because, you know, they've been trying to get sub-20 for years, or, you know, they managed it once when they were much younger, fitter, or whatever. And here I am. I normally run a 28-minute one. I'm going to go for a sub-20. So, you know, it sounds a bit flippant and disrespectful, I suppose, but it's not supposed to be. I'm willing to do the work. Is it enough? We'll see. Is it smart? Is it a smart goal now? So it's specific. Yes, it is 5K in under 20 minutes. Is it measurable? Yes, it's 5K in under 20 minutes. Is it achievable? Ooh, don't know. We'll find out. Is it realistic? It's not the same as achievable. And then is it time-based? Well, it is now 3rd of May. Will we extend when we get there? Probably. Who knows? We will see. Anyway, I will let you all go. Thank you very much for tuning in. Keep the questions coming. I will see you on the next one. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. I hope you all get lots of running in. Crack on.